Man City boss Pep Guardiola has been speaking to the media ahead of his side's trip to Bournemouth this weekend in the Premier League. He spoke about the new Manchester United co-owner, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and believes the appointment is a sign of good things to come for the red half of Manchester.
They will be closer to us. When we are below, when United were winning, we are watching them. We admire them. We want to learn of them. In the period of Sir Alex Ferguson, with all the generation from Roy Keane, David Beckham, Gary Neville, all the big players were there. Rio Ferdinand and all the players. I'm pretty sure City were admired, they want to be there. And now we were there. Now we are there. So that's why for this type of comments, I had the feeling that they will be back for that gestures.
What do you make, Ben Foster, of all the latest happenings at Manchester United behind the scenes?
I think it's positive.
Oh, hold on. There you go.
I think it's heading in the right direction. Like I say, I've worked with Dan Ashworth, and I think he's a fantastic fit for Man United. They've been crying out for someone like that for a long time. Somebody to do a bit more due diligence on the players that they're about to sign. And the way the amount of money that's floating around at Man United, the amount of money that Jim Ratcliffe's paid for it, why wouldn't you employ somebody, even if he's on 4 or 5 million quid a year, to oversee that side of it? You know, it's a drop in the ocean. So him and I think the guy Barada that they've taken from Man City, Dave Brailsford, massive fan of Dave Brailsford. I'm big into my cycling, and what he did for Team Sky, next level. So he will raise the standards at Man United without doubt.
Do you know, people talk about closing the gap, Fozzie, and yeah, I think it's impressive what they're trying to do. But when people talk about 3 years, they'll be challenging Manchester City. That is if Manchester City stands still.
Yeah.
Obviously, Manchester City is still going to keep going. Do you know what I mean? So I think it could be a little bit longer than 3 years.
Mate, I even then, mate, I think it's so hard to catch Man City.
Yeah.
It's so hard to catch Man City. But I think the main, and this is no slight against Eric Ten Hag, but the two best managers probably in world football are Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah.
And if you've got one of them, you've got a chance.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think it's going to be a battle.
So what do you think over the next 3 years the aim realistically should be for Sir Jim and the rest of
I think
Manchester
United need to try and re-establish themselves as a top 4 team again. Re-establish themselves as not even worrying about Europa or 5th or 6th and a bit more consistency as well, because I think with Man United, I'm not really sure what I'm going to get week to week. I watched them last week against Luton, and they had more opportunities to score, but they still give up a lot of chances, you know. They give up a lot of chances, and that's the same in every game that I've watched of them recently, actually. They give up an awful lot of chances, and it could have swung either way. It really could have. So a bit more consistency from them. So, like I say, I can't... If I was doing a coupon, I wouldn't be sure what I was going to get from them.
We've only got you for 2 minutes, so we haven't spoken to you about the Premier League. Liverpool top at the moment, Man City second, then Arsenal, then Aston Villa. How do you see it finishing?
I think Liverpool are going to do it. Yeah, I think Liverpool are going to do it. I think they've got into a mode now of... I don't know if it's going under the radar or what, but they just keep churning results out. And the game against Luton the other night, Luton did well first half. Liverpool, though, same as Man City in a sense, is you know that they're going to have a 10, 15, 20-minute period, right, where they will just punish you. They'll put you to the sword. They'll score their 2 or 3 goals and then they'll shut up shop. But they might struggle for 70 minutes of the game to break you down, but they will break you down. They'll have a 20-minute period and that'll do. It's game over.
What do you make of Arsenal's season? They're 1-0 down in, of course, first leg of the Champions League last 16.
Yeah, that was out the blue a bit, to be honest with you. That was a bit uncharacteristic from Arsenal. It's not great timing as well off the back of all the Bukayo Saka talk about him being world class, and then, you know, it weren't a great performance from him or the team.
Is he world class?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I think he has to do it in them games, for example.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about, in these games, in these Champions League quarterfinals, in the last 16s. But Arsenal, the beauty of it this year is that it's the tightest Premier League title race in, I think, 10 years or something. And that's all we hope for. That's all we want to see.
Is it impossible, realistically, then, for Arsenal to win the league? I jokingly say, tongue-in-cheek, with a little bit of seriousness, to bet if your manager's spending £250 million, you've got to improve from last season, which was second. Is that a bit unrealistic? Because to improve, you've got to be Liverpool, Man City, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't know. It's something maybe inbuilt in me from past experiences, which leads me to believe that Arsenal will just fall short, and I don't know where that comes from. Yeah, I love Arsenal. I love watching
them. Probably.
I love watching. Yeah, probably. Yeah, but I love watching them, and it's good to see them in a title race. But something inherently in me just tells me they'll probably fall short.
Not this season.
Okay.
I think they will.
Champions League.
Do you want to have a bet? Oh, that they don't win the league?
No. No, I don't.
And there's confidence
Yeah.
for you. Ben, thank you so much for coming on our show. We adore you, and we really do. So to have you for 2 hours has been brilliant. Just a quick reminder, you've got a wonderful podcast out. We're on it in a few weeks' time. Yeah. But irrelevant of that, where can people see it? How can they watch it? What can they do to see more of you?
So the podcast called The Fozcast. It's streaming on Spotify. You can find it pretty much anywhere. But we've also got a YouTube channel, The Fozcast Podcast. It's good. People like you guys. We get football players, former, current, and we just have a good laugh.
Okay. And when's the best one coming out?
In 2 weeks' time. In 2 weeks' time on Thursday. Every Thursday, 4 p.m. it drops. So in a couple of weeks, it's the top 10 British sportsmen of all time with Goldstein and Bent, the best radio show in the land.
Yeah, in the world.
In the world.
When am I on the football field again? When am I coming?
Whenever you get a chance, mate, you can bring my trainers back as well. Those really nice trainers.
Can you do me
you've
one
got.
favour before I let you go? You said it drops at 4 p.m. Can you drop at 3 p.m?
No.
Okay.
We're contracted.
Fine. Thanks for coming in.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.